on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Return. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
At the 19-yard line.
Going to throw it out of the shotgun. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
2nd and 9.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Switch.
Hey, middle.
50-50.
Now it's Stafford. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Florida, C.J. Henderson. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Check. Watch 54.
You ain't doing nothing.
Play action. It's Eason. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Let's go!
2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted. They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And McManus able to put it through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go. On the return, the Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Jam. Check safety. 60 bison.
They run the counter. It's Carson, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll roll him out right. Now he'll pull it down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On 1st down, Jacob Eason. They'll run the screen with Carson. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
At the Buccaneers' 38-yard line.
From the gun is Eason. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like bats, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
And the Saints 1st down.
They go play action with Eason. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Kendall Fuller.
Come on, time to play.
The 1st
The
down.
Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. This is the tight end fan. 7 yards, the pickup there.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, he's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
10 at the 47-yard line.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
A gain of
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Buccaneers. 1st down.
Right here.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll run with Sanders, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Saints' 8-yard line.
Once again with Sanders. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3, cut, ball's out of his hands.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Eddie Goldman with a sack. Well, it was 2nd and long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Eason. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line.
Their own 41-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Now Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Trey Hendrickson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27. Let's go one more.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And going deep for Hill. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tyreek Hill. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Well, he's been doing this for more than a decade now, showing that he's still got that arm strength from back when he was the #1 overall pick.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, the first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
54 Mike.
Here's Eason off the play fake, sliding out of the pocket. Airing this one out for Evans. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call. But they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
To throw on third down, Eason. Forced out to his left. Eason gets hit and the ball pops free. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that first down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football.
Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the first down marker.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Miles Sanders, as the first half is winding down, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
All day, dog. Mike's fine.
19 tight.
A final shot before break. Eason dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again with Sanders. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Eddie Jackson going down. A gain of 11.
3rd and 2, Stafford. Got a man, he finds Sanders. And he is going to have a Bucs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Come on. Come on, D. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Go, go, go. Check four, check four.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Watch 85.
Big 20. Like 7.
We taking wins home. Check 9, check 9.
On first and 10, Stafford. And going deep for Hill. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
The second and 10 now as we roll along in the third quarter from Tampa.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. Watch the run.
10.
To throw again. Stafford flushed out right. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
21.
Mike 5, Mike 5. You don't want none of it. Give me it. Pick up the ball. 5's the mic. 5's the mic. Check, check, check.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he's not going to get the first down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or two. Too short.
8-yard gain. It's fourth down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
59.
Mike 55. Check 55. Mike. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. No. Off.
Easy, alert.
They'll try and run with a fullback Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Here we go. Mike 55.
On first and 10 is Sanders. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 17. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
You. 49.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And this long drive is going to continue as they move the chains again. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Tyreek Hill. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Buccaneers 27, Saints nothing.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Smith-Schuster. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun. Eason. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
New Orleans.
Check 55, Mike. We don't want this. Check 55.
From the gun, Eason.
Better bring it.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end.
Eason's pass.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Eason on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Here we go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I we enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Miles Sanders with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. And that deserves a couple exclamation points. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Buccaneers 34, Saints nothing. Brandon McManus set to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
For 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. The Saints on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Eason. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
1st down, Saints.
Throwing is Eason. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
And 9 at the 47-yard line.
Cowboy 80. Mike's by 4. Double dog, that's the way. 18 Rattler.
From the gun, Eason. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Eason. And now here is another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This is Carson. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
For Mike Evans, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Eason. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Yards to go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
That's all. That's what I'm talking about. Let's show them how to play football. Let's go.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your